We've got a ton to go over in today's video, including 2 new PlayStation Store sales, an only on PlayStation sale, as well as a PlayStation VR celebration sale. Now, what is the PlayStation VR celebrating to warrant this sale? Well, it's actually celebrating its 2nd anniversary on October 13th, and along with the sale they're running, we've got a ton of new announcements that are VR related. This includes Borderlands 2 VR, a lot of information on Tetris Effect, a demo coming for arguably the best game that is available on PSVR, new Firewall 0-hour DLC, and a brand new VR game Megalith is coming early next year. Want to talk all about that because I've been pretty high on PlayStation VR recently, and it is just a platform that's getting better and better. So more on that in a little bit. First, let's talk about the only on PlayStation sale, and as the title of the sale would suggest, this centers around games that are only available on PlayStation. A ton of fantastic deals, so let's go over some of them. Uncharted 4: A Thief's End is at a new low. You can save 50% on that, and remember, it just became a PlayStation Hits title, so it's already down to a low $20, but with this 50% off, you're getting it for just $9.99. That is a fantastic price for what many would still consider to be the best PlayStation 4 exclusive. I know a lot of people would say God of War is a better game. You could make an argument that Uncharted 4 is the better game. It's a fantastic game, and if you're familiar with Naughty Dog experiences, this is arguably the best game they've put out. It really goes back and forth for me between Uncharted 4 and The Last of Us, but you guys know they're both terrific games. Ratchet & Clank is also discounted 50%. It's down from $19.99 to $9.99. Fantastic price on that as well. Ratchet & Clank is a great game. It was available as a PlayStation Plus title back in March, but if you missed out on it then, for $10, it's a great game, and it is a complete remake of the very first Ratchet & Clank game, rebuilt from the ground up, modern visuals, but it has all that great action and platforming gameplay that you know and love from Ratchet. The Order 1886 is 80% off, down to $3.99. Would say that's a pretty good deal. I mean, The Order 1886 was a game that released back in 2015 at a full $59.99 price point, and at that price point, a lot of gamers were very disappointed with it. However, now that it's down to $4, now that a lot of time has passed since the release of this game, I think newer gamers can go into it not having a very high bar for expectations, and you'll be rather surprised with what you get in The Order 1886. The major complaint was the game was the length. You could complete this game very quickly, and when it was a $60 purchase, yes, I could see why that would turn a lot of people off, but now that it's available for $4, getting an hour of entertainment for each dollar doesn't sound all too bad, and the presentation of this game is tremendous. Some of the best visuals that you are ever going to see out of a video game, even compared to games like God of War and Uncharted 4. The Order 1886 is right up there. You could make an argument it looks even better. Killzone Shadowfall is down to $3.99. Wasn't a gigantic fan of that game, but I did enjoy the single-player campaign. Multiplayer left a lot to be desired. $3.99 for it is definitely good. The Last Guardian is 35% off, down to $12.99. I would say that's a pretty good deal. Alien Nation is down 80% to $3.99. Terrific game there. Matterfall is down 60% to $7.99. Flower is down 70% to $2.09. We've got some PS2 on PS4 games discounted with Jak and Daxter the bundle. There's a Classics PlayStation 4 bundle, so that's pretty good. Until Dawn is 75% off for $4.99. I would say that's a very good deal. Uncharted the Nathan Drake collection is 60% off to $7.99. If you've never experienced Uncharted, that's a great place to get started, and $7.99 for all 3 of the games that were released on the PlayStation 3. Even though the very first Uncharted game doesn't hold up all too well, I would still say that's a very good collection. Uncharted 2 and Uncharted 3 are still tremendous games. Infamous Second Son, another game that recently became a PlayStation Hits title, is 50% off to $9.99. Honestly speaking, Infamous Second Son was my least favorite of the 3 Infamous games, but it's still a very good game. I just thought very highly of Infamous 1 and 2. I don't think the story in Second Son is quite as strong, and I don't think the gameplay is quite as strong either. Obviously, from a visual standpoint, much better than Infamous 1 and 2. It's on a different console, but $9.99 for that. If you want a fun open-world adventure, definitely would recommend that. And I want to give a shout to Resogun, a launch PlayStation 4 title, and a game that many gamers consider to be the best PS4 launch title. That's 80% off for $2.99, and that's coming from the guys over at Housemarque. And you guys know how highly I think of them as a studio, until recently where they've decided to go the Battle Royale route, but Resogun was a terrific game by them, so would definitely give that a recommendation. There's a couple of other deals available, also a lot of fantastic deals, so give it a look for yourself. Some great buys to be had there. As I mentioned, there's also another sale running in the PlayStation VR celebration sale. We are celebrating the 2nd anniversary of PSVR, and there are some fantastic deals here. Some games you don't even consider to really be VR experiences, so let me mention some of of those. Tekken 7 is 65% off for $17.49. Yes, Tekken 7 has a small VR component, but you can play the majority of the game without VR, so that's a game, even if you don't have VR, would still recommend it. Tekken 7 has been one of my favorite fighting games of this generation. Would highly recommend you to give that a look if you want a quality fighting game. Zone of the Enders, the second runner, Mars, that just released, and it is 25% off, down to $22.49. It's Zone of the Enders remastered for the PlayStation 4. Looks great, and it's still a fantastic game. A franchise that has been forgotten about in recent years, but back when it was released on the PlayStation 2, was received very well, and the PlayStation 4 version makes it even better. A couple of VR-focused games. Firewall Zero Hour is fantastic. That's 20% off for $31.99. So yes, a hefty price, but that is one of VR's best games, so if you have PSVR, would definitely give that a recommendation. A multiplayer first-person shooter translated very well into VR. Super Hot VR is 40% off, down to $14.99. Great deal there. Farpoint is 35% off for $12.99. Would also say that's a really good deal. A pretty good first-person shooter. An earlier VR title. That's a single-player first-person shooter. But I would give that a recommendation. It was initially released at $49.99, so that was quite a hefty price. But now that it's down to $19.99 and 35% off on top of that, $12.99 for that game is quite good. And there are a bunch of other deals available as well. I won't go through everything, but have a look at the sale for yourself. A lot of good stuff to take advantage of. And speaking of VR, let's talk about some major announcements to celebrate the second anniversary of PlayStation VR. First up, Borderlands 2 will be making the transition to VR on December 14th, and the PlayStation blog has got a pretty good post directly from Gearbox about Borderlands 2 VR. This is coming straight from Gearbox. Quote, "As soon as we brought the game to PS4 as a part of the Handsome Collection in 2016, our brains immediately began cranking on how we could bring the experience to VR and take advantage of PSVR's capabilities. We all have spent years immersed in the world and these characters, so we are excited to utilize the PSVR to bring everyone in even deeper. The biggest new feature of Borderlands 2 VR is our take on bullet time, called BAM time, or badass mega fun time if you're not into the whole brevity thing. Activating BAM time will give you the speed and reflexes of a rabid skag, allowing you to dodge bullets, pull off 360 no-scope headshots, and even use your action skill to fight off hordes of bandits, bullymogs, and whatever else Pandora might throw at you. The original 4 playable Vault Hunters from Borderlands 2 are back, along with their special abilities and BAMF modified skill trees. We added BAM time upgrades to previous abilities like Zero's Death Mark, which marks targets for additional damage, but now also restores 2 seconds of BAM time per mark kill. Borderlands 2 was already a very well-received experience. I'm very excited to see this game making the transition to VR, a game that I really wasn't expecting. But hey, Gearbox has released Borderlands 2 a couple times already. Why not have it make the transition to VR? I think this is one a lot of gamers that have PSVR will be all over. On top of that, we've got some information on Tetris Effect, which is a PlayStation 4 exclusive that looks incredible. I know to some of you guys it's just another Tetris game, but once you hear this game's music, once you see the presentation, and once you hear what people have been saying about this game, this is one to definitely keep your eyes on. And it's a game you don't have to play with VR, but it is VR compatible, and everybody has said super positive things when they've tried it out with VR. Digital pre-orders will have a 10% off discount, and if you pre-order the game, you will get various goodies, including a soundtrack sampler, avatars, as well as a PlayStation 4 dynamic theme. And this is very exciting because it features Connected Yours Forever playing in the background. That was the awesome song played during the Tetris Effect trailer. Everybody loves that song, so to have it in a PS4 dynamic theme, that sounds absolutely terrific. Tetris Effect is out on November 9th, so we are a month away from the release of that game. That is coming up rather quickly, so definitely be excited for that. We've also got an Astrobot Rescue Mission, a free demo for that. That'll be out on October 16th. This is the best reviewed game that has been released on PlayStation VR. It is currently sitting on a 90 on Metacritic, which is very impressive. It was sitting at an 89, but last I checked, it bumped up to a 90. And if you have PSVR and for whatever reason you haven't checked this game out, well, soon you're going to be able to get a taste of the game absolutely free with the Astrobot Rescue Mission free demo. Also, Firewall Zero Hour will be getting some DLC, another very well-received VR title, and this will unlock new items and skins to customize your character and weapons for a completely new style of play. And lastly, we have the announcement of Megalith officially launching on January 8th. Megalith, as you use your massive size and powerful abilities to compete against other titans for control of the Earth. It's an exciting hero shooter, and it'll have a free trial version available exclusively at the PlayStation Store starting November 13th. So again, that game will be out on January 8th. PSVR is making a lot of moves, but I wouldn't recommend you buying one right away. I would recommend you to hold off until Black Friday. There are some fantastic bundles available. For example, there's the PlayStation VR Astrobot Rescue Mission and Moss bundle. That's available for $299.99. Great deal, but I could see that drop down to $249.99 or even $199.99. I don't think that's absolutely absurd. 3rd, I could literally see a price like that come Black Friday. So yes, while VR is becoming a very enticing purchase, wait until Black Friday. Chances are there are going to be some fantastic deals available if you want to pick it up. And that's going to conclude this video. Again, we've got 2 PlayStation Store sales running right now. The only on PlayStation sale, the PlayStation VR Celebration sale. And on top of that, PSVR has gotten a host of new announcements, including Borderlands 2 VR content coming to you with Tetris Effect if you pre-order the game, Astrobot Rescue missions getting a free demo, new Firewall 0-hour DLC, and Megalith officially launching on January 8th. That's going to conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.